Hi everyone. So let me just start off by saying I'm not a negative person. Well, I'm trying not to be. I like to think of myself as just a realist, and that is in all walks of life. But since I really only discuss makeup on this channel, makeup, skincare, etc., I like to apply my realistic viewpoints to just that, makeup. So this is going to be a video about products that it's a multiple kind of category thing. So things that I don't like, things that didn't work for me, and things that are just bad products. And so sort of like disappointments, it's all just going to be the negative side of products and stuff that I did not like. And a lot of the stuff that I didn't like I left at home, so I might do an updated video a little bit later, but this is just sort of stuff that I have with me that I figured I would, you know, keep for use on other people or whatever it may be, because just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it's a bad product. It just means that it didn't work for me. But then there are certain products that just they are not made well, they don't work well, etc. So I guess we'll just go in order of eyes, lips, face. How about that? Because that's just how things are done. So, eyes. Primers. Not to say that this is a bad primer, but it just didn't really work for me. Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I really used to use this a lot, and I'm also including Urban Decay Primer Potion, which I don't have an example of here. But they just didn't really work for me. They didn't wow me. I wasn't impressed by how my eyeshadows lasted throughout the day or how they went on. I didn't really notice a huge difference. I mean, maybe application was a little bit smoother because the texture was even and uniform, and there was a little bit of a tackiness from using the primer, but really when it comes down to it, the NARS Smudge Proof Primer is the only thing that really helps my eyeshadows last all day, because I do have really oily eyelids. So I find that because I have oily eyelids, this just didn't really hold up, and same with the Urban Decay. I think that it's because the texture is a little bit too thin. It's more of a lotion instead of like a cream, like a powdered cream, you know what I mean? So let's see what else. Here's an unpopular opinion. Maybelline Color Tattoo eyeshadows. I don't like these. I don't think they work. I actually left my bold gold one. Either that or I gave it to someone. But you all probably have heard of these. It's a cream eyeshadow that's supposed to be really long lasting, and it's at the drugstore, so it's a big deal. And yes, it is pretty like revolutionary that the drugstore came out with, you know, basically a paint pot, but the execution of this product is not great, especially the bold gold one. I hated that one even more. So what happens is when you apply the product and you blend it out, say if you want to have blended edges, because God forbid you would want to blend your eyeshadows, the color fades and all you're left with is the shimmer. So it's a really kind of strange looking eye, because you have the color and then as you blend it out all you see is shimmer. So it still ends up being a harsh concentration of color, which if that's what you're going for, then that's fine. But personally, like, I feel like cream eyeshadows really limit you to just using one or two colors because it's hard to blend them. And I have never had a good experience with a cream eyeshadow. I've used Makeup Forever aqua creams, God, I don't even know what else, and I haven't really had good experiences with them. So it sort of it defers me from wanting to try anymore. So there might be some great ones out there, but I just feel like I don't want to waste my money on them because they're not something I feel like I, first of all, need, nor have really ever worked for me. So these color tattoos, not a fan. Another product that really does not work at all is the e.l.f. Long Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadow. It's one of those like new generation kind of moussey, foamy, it bounces back type of textures, but let me just show you, for example. So I'm gonna really try and get some product on there, right? It's a gorgeous color. It's like a nice taupe. I don't know the color either. They don't label them anywhere. So I'm SOL. But when you apply it, first of all, it does not last at all. My eyeshadows like crease the second I put them on, but it's sort of just like, it doesn't really do anything. It turns into this big like liquidy mess, and because all these eyeshadows really dry down fast, you don't get much playtime, and when you do, and when they're done and you try to blend them out, they end up just kind of peeling off. So that's very annoying and kind of counterproductive from a long-lasting eyeshadow that comes off the second you put it on. Let's see, what else? Okay, Revlon Color Stay eyeshadows. Both of these quads I haven't really had a good experience with. This one is Bombshell, which I wanted this pastel yellow. That's really what I was trying to find, was a pastel yellow eyeshadow. And then this one is Free Spirit from the Gucci Westman Summer Collection. Didn't really get anything out of these. As you can see, I used a sponge tip applicator, God forbid, because that was the only way I managed to get even close to acceptable color payoff from this yellow. And all the shimmery ones were kind of chunky. These were really dry and unblendable, and they didn't apply really well. So all in all, not impressed with those. Okay, let's see, Maybelline the Falsies. It's a personal preference. Mascara really is a personal preference, but there's a difference between mascara that works and mascara that doesn't, and this is what I use whenever I want my eyelashes to look really clumpy on purpose, because I find that I think they need to get a new stopper or something, because too much product just comes off and it just ends up gunky everywhere and gross, and you get too much on the tip, and it's just too much goop on it. And I like the brush. I like the sort of spoon shape. It fits against the shape of your eyelashes, but the formula is too wet for the effect that they're trying to do. I think you need a drier texture for more volume, and really fake lashes should look long, voluminous, and kind of insane, and these just look clumpy and like you have a bad mascara. A product that doesn't work, Chanel Le Crayon Kohl Intense Eye Pencil in number 69 Clair. So it's a nude eye pencil, which is definitely one of my favorite things to have, but it's so dry and it doesn't last on the eyes at all. So it doesn't go on smooth and even because it is so dry, which normally I'm fine with, but this doesn't apply. And then once it's gone, once it's on, it's gone. I mean, it doesn't last. And for $28, I expect a good eyeliner. I mean, I like the pencil sharpener it came with, but I could have spent $2 on a pencil sharpener. Very disappointed by this, but I tried to convince myself that it worked for a while. Okay, 2 eyebrow products that I just have a bone to pick with the companies. Milani Brow Tint Pen, Felt Tip Brow Color. So I bought this because Emily Noel, whatever, 87, is that her name? I love her. I think she's great. I think she's an honest woman who, gives truthful opinions about drugstore products, and she's great for, the everyday woman and, recommending stuff for everyday people who buy stuff from the drugstore. I think she's amazing, but she said that she spoke really highly of this, so I bought this when I had darker brows, and my problem is that it is way red, and nobody has eyebrows that are that color. Nobody. I mean, obviously, nobody has eyebrows this color either, but nobody naturally has red eyebrows. Even when you look at redhead people, they have ashy tones in their brows. They're not neon bozo the clown orange and red. So I don't understand why brow companies make their dark brown brow products with red tones in them. Same for this Maybelline Define a Brow. Used to love it, but the color is just, I mean, it's a little bit more ashy, but it's not dark enough, and it's still too red for my liking. So the blonde ones are great, and they used to make a black one that they got rid of, which I don't know why, but the blonde ones are good because they're a lot more ashy. But what are you gonna do? Lips. Okay, so one of the biggest disappointment products of my entire life is YSL Rouge Volupte lipstick. So I bought this because Tim Talia spoke highly about it. Again, I love her. I'm not knocking any of these people because they recommended a product that I didn't like. This formula is supposed to be creamy and smooth and long-lasting. It's creamy and smooth, but it is too creamy and smooth. It sort of just melts the second you put it on your lips, which is a nice sort of sensory experience. But realistically, it ends up just sort of like gathering towards the corner of your lips the second you start talking, and then it dries down to a nasty matte, dry matte finish. I'm fine with matte lipsticks and matte finishes, but a dry matte I'm not okay with. And something that's so creamy and smooth and hydrating initially that turns so matte is very strange to me. And for $34, like, I expect this to work. I really do, and I tried to convince myself that it was working and that it was just the formula and I could make it work, but I haven't been able to, and it's way too late to return it, obviously. But yeah, don't waste your money. I don't like these at all. Revlon Lip Butter in Peach Parfait. My problem with this is that the chunks of glitter in here are far too noticeable, and it's not the best formula. I think I just got a bad one though, because everyone else seems to like the peach one and hasn't had a problem with it, so I might have just gotten a bad tube. I love the color, I love the shine, but the chunks of glitter are just unacceptable and so unlike all of the other ones. Sephora Nano Lip Pencil in Lovely Lilac, which I love the color of. It's gorgeous, can I just tell you? But the problem is, it just was it's too big. That's what it is. It's too big to fit in the small slot of a sharpener, but too small to fit in the big one. So I'm like stuck with this lip liner that I can't sharpen. What the hell? Oh, and then our lipstick that just doesn't look good and doesn't really work. Manic Panic Purple Haze. Love the color, so great. But the formula doesn't last, just like their hair color products, which is the product I use in my brows, so they don't last. But the formula doesn't apply evenly at all. It looks chunky like that. As you can see, it's not applying smooth and even. So, I mean, $4, I'm not too bummed about it, but still. And then one more thing, Benetint. I don't like this. This is supposed to be for your cheeks as well. On your lips it's fine. I used to keep this in my bag if I needed a little bit of color, but on your cheeks, my problem with all of these Benefit liquid products is they don't blend. You apply it initially. Let me just show you. You apply it where you want it. Not dump it out everywhere though. You apply it where you want it, but then when you go to blend it out, first of all, where did it go? Second of all, the only place that is left, it's on my finger, and the initial place where the brush came in contact with my skin is the only place where it sticks, which will transition me into High Beam. Not only do I hate the color because it's a pink pearl and no one naturally is this color, I don't care what you say, and I feel like if you're gonna highlight your cheeks, it should look natural. Like, if you're going for that hyper real alien look, like, that's one thing, but Benefit makes stuff for soccer moms. Their target market is very specific, and I mean, they do really good business with those people that they're trying to sell to, but I don't understand, like, what the point of, like, it's just weird. It's a strange color. Like, buy Becca Shimmery Skin Perfector, buy Dior Amber Diamond, buy even, like, I don't know, if you're gonna buy a Benefit highlighter, buy the Moonbeam or whatever, the one that's more golden, because that looks natural. And like, even like people with pink undertones to their skin don't have a pearl is blue. Pearl is blue, pink, and white. Nobody has blue cheeks. No one. And again, just applying exactly where I put it and nowhere else. It just looks like sweat. That's what I don't like. Okay, so face. The Clinique Redness Solutions Daily Protective Base SPF 15. It's not a bad product, but I just don't get it. It's not a moisturizer. They say it's not a primer. I don't get it. I mean, it works because it has zinc oxide, and that's going to calm the redness in your skin, and it has this kind of green tone, which is like color theory, supposed to cancel it out, but I don't get it. Like, what is it supposed to be? So I just use it as like underneath my makeup sort of thing, but protective, strange. Foundation, Illamasqua Skin Based Foundation. I don't like this. Very unpopular opinion, but I don't think it looks natural. Everyone's like, it looks like second skin. No, it doesn't. It's too full coverage. I have the shade 7.5, which is a little bit off for me, but I don't like it because it doesn't blend. There's not enough silicones in it to give it some slip, and so it's really, really difficult to apply and blend and make it look natural. It ends up looking patchy, too full coverage, too heavy, too much. I don't like it. I am very disappointed by it. So, Estee Lauder Invisible Fluid. My bone to pick is the packaging. Luckily I cleaned it up, but this stuff just spews out everywhere. Even when it's not open, it just spews out, and I don't like it as much as the Chanel, which I'm wearing today, the Chanel V2 Lumiere Aqua, but yeah, not a huge fan. Revlon Color Stay Foundation. I hate this because it's such full coverage. It's so heavy. It's so thick and paint-like, and it just doesn't look nice. I don't, but that's my thing, is I don't like full coverage foundations. Oh, biggest unpopular opinion of ever. Are you guys surprised to see this? NARS Orgasm. I hate it. I hate NARS blushes in general because unless they're matte, usually the shimmer has silver flecks, which looks weird, or their green or their gold is very green. Like Albatross, it has like this greenish, like rusty, not even rusty, like tarnished look to it, and that just looks very unnatural, very strange, very ugly, and mine sort of sealed itself shut. I don't know how, so it's now unusable because all I get is shimmer. And it just looks awful and gross. I don't like it. e.l.f. Complete Coverage Concealers. They don't really work, but I keep them for my kit. Almay Smart Shade Liquid Makeup. A joke. It doesn't do anything. Rimmel Natural Bronzer. Not a bad product, but it's just too pink for my skin tone. So it doesn't really look all that nice. And then Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer and Corrector. They're too creamy. They crease. They go everywhere. They're not made to last. And then I think last but not least, this Makeup Forever Sensize Makeup Remover dries my eyes out so bad and gives me like really horrible dark circles and redness, and it's awful. So no. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I really don't want to be negative, but there's more products that I like that I don't like, or than I don't like. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll talk to all you later. Bye guys.